Hello guys! So, for this video, we'll be tackling about solving quadratic equations. There are four methods, but we will be discussing first by extracting roots method. So, how to solve this quadratic equation using extracting roots, or kanusa nato gamiton ang method nga extracting roots. So, kaning nga method is gamiton nato kung ang b is equal to 0. Unsa gani ang b sa tong previous nga video? B is the numerical coefficient of your linear term. So, kung ma-0 gani ang linear term, therefore, gamiton dayon nato ang extracting roots. So the general equation for your extracting roots method is ax squared plus c is equal to 0 since the linear term is equal to 0. So we have example number 1 here. Naatay example, x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. So unsay una natong buhaton? So ang first step in solving or in using the extracting root method is to transpose the constant term to the other side. So we have x squared. Unsa gani kung negative sign mutabok sa equal sign, mahimong positive. So x squared is equal to 25. And then, unsay sunod buhaton kung nana kay x squared is equal to 25. The next thing is square both sides. So, kung i-square nimo both sides, mag-add ka og symbol na plus, minus, gawas sa imuhang radical sign sa imuhang constant value. Why? It's because pwede manggod duha ka buok ang imuhang answer, the negative and the positive. Since negative times negative is equal to positive. So parihara na og value kung i-multiply nimo ang negative ug negative o positive positive nga same nga number. Nakuha? Okay. So, square root of x squared is x is equal to, don't forget the symbol or the sign, positive, negative. So, square root of 25 is, we have 5. Since 5 times 5 is equal to 25. So, your x now is positive, negative 5. So, don't forget, ayaw kalimti, mag-conclude ta always sa ato ang solution. So, conclusion now is, the solution set is use curly bracket or braces, negative 5 and 5. Dili pwede nga parenthesis ang imuhang gamiton, dili pwede nga katong square bracket, kanijong curly bracket or braces imong gamiton. Why? It's because it is the solution to your equation. Sa inyong quadratic equations, there are always two solutions or two roots or two zeros. Dili pwede nga tulo, dili pwede nga isa, dapat always siyang duha. Since quadratic man, duha ka buok ang imuhang roots. Okay, let's proceed to our example number 2. We have 3x squared minus 81 is equal to 0. So, sa itong unang step, imong first step nga buhaton, imong i-transpose ang imong constant term dito sa other side. So, we have 3x squared, negative 81, i-transpose, mahimong positive 81. Ang sunod natong buhaton ani, since naay a or naa kay numerical coefficient sa imong quadratic term nga dili equal to 1, so imuhang i-multiply dapat both sides by a fraction nga ma-equal to 1 ang imuhang a. So unsa may fraction nga atong gamiton para i-multiply sa imuhang a diri karon sa imong example nga mahimo siya 1. So, atong gamiton kay 1/3. Nganong 1/3 man? since it is the reciprocal of your A. So 1/3 times 3 is equal to 3/3. So 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1. So nahimo siyang nabili na lang kay 1. So, di ba, 1 is always omitted. So x squared lang atong isulat. Di na ta magbutag 1. And then 81 divided by or multiply by 1/3. So 81 divided by 3 is equal to 27. Unsay sunod buhaton? Basta inani na square both sides. So square na to both sides. Don't forget the positive negative sign. So square root of x squared is x. And then the sign positive negative. Is 27 a perfect square? Para mas diretso na to sa square root? No. So, kailangan natin i-factor out ang 27 kung ma-factor out ba siya of a factor na pwede ma-square root siya largo. So, unsa may factor sa 27 nga perfect square nga number? So, pwede ang 9 times 3. Diba? 9 times 3 is equal to 27. So, 9 times 3, 27. 9 is a perfect square? Yes, perfect square na naman. 3 times 3 is equal to 9. Very good. So, ang imong answer diri is positive, negative, gawas ang 3. The square root of 9 is 3. Ang nabilin is ang square root of 3. So, this now is the roots of your solution. Don't forget to write the solution set. The solution set is negative 3 square root of 3 and 3 square root of 3. Nakuha? Okay. Let's proceed to another example. So let's proceed to our last example for by extracting roots method. We have x squared plus 1 is equal to 0. So, unsa gitong unang step? Transpose ang constant term to the other side. So, nahitabo nga nahulog na siya x squared is equal to positive sign. Mutabok sa equal sign. Mahimong negative ang iyang sign. So, we have is equal to negative 1. So, unsa gay sunod buhaton? Basta nakainani na siya ng 4. Ato ang i-square both sides. So, dili pwede nga naay negative sign within the radical. Nga naman, it's because walay number nga i-multiply nimo sa iyang sarili mo equal siya og negative. Diba? Kay negative times negative, positive. So, dapat, atong buhaton, walay negative sign sa radical. So, we let I is equal to square root of negative 1. Iset na to ang square root of negative 1 as I. Anong I man? Because I is an imaginary number. Dili na nako ni siya padakon or palalumon pa nga topic. It's because dili ni siya appeal sa inyuhang topic. So dili na kaya to kailangan nga ipa-expand pa kung unsa ning imaginary number. Okay? So square root of x squared is x. Square root of negative 1 is I. Natay nakalimtan. Unsa man ang symbol. So, dapat naapay positive and negative na symbol. Nga naman, it's because sa quadratic equation, duha dapat permi ang imuhang solution or duha dapat ang imong values sa imuhang x. So, unsay last na itong buhaton? Ang conclusion. So, the solution set is negative I and I. Nakuha? And now, let's proceed to the second method of solving quadratic equations. The second method we'll be using is by factoring. So, kano sa nato gamiton ang factoring? So, kani, ang factoring gamiton nato kung ang equation kay factorable. What do you mean by factorable? Pwede niyo ma-expand ang equation in this form of x plus a times x plus b is equal to 0. Since by that, igawas nimo ang isa ka factor, x plus a is equal to 0, and the other factor, x plus b is equal to 0. So let's proceed to the examples. We have example number 1 here, x squared minus 7x plus 12 is equal to 0. So, kung sa may buhato na ito una ani. So, mag-factor ta. So, let's x ta diha. So, unsa may values nga atong ibutang diri karon. So, ang pinaka-best nga technique natong buhaton is mag-base ta sa atong constant. Nganong sa constant man? Because the constant is the product of the last terms. So, mo ni siya ang imong naa-diri, ang last terms, di ba? Sa FOIL method ninyo sa inyong grade 8. So, muna nga siya atong basihan, ang constant atong basihan para diri sa imong last terms. Nakuha? So, unsa may factors diha sa imong 12 nga pwede nato mabutang? 1 of 12? Pwede. Pero, tan-aw na to kung inig-solve na to, ang b ba diri is pariha sa atong equation. So, we need to check first. So, try na to ang 1 of 12. So, 1 and 12. Negative. Nganong negative man? I-carry over na to kung unsa ang symbol diri sa atong b kung positive ang ato ang constant term. So we have, let's check. X times x, x squared. Outer, x times negative 12, negative 12x. Inner terms, negative 1 times x, negative x. Negative 1 times negative 12, positive 12. Is equal to 0. So nahitabo nga, x squared minus na kay like terms, negative 12 and negative x. Negative 12x and negative x. So, x squared minus negative 12 minus x, 13x plus 12 is equal to 0. Pariha, dili. So, it means this factor, kaninga factor is dili pwede para kaninga quadratic equations. Nakuha. So, atong i-delete. Dili man siya mao. So, ang isa lang pod nga imuhang i-observe para sa factoring is mag-trial and error jud ka hantod makuha nimo ang correct na factors. Patience is a virtue para sa factoring method. So, unsa pa may other factors sa 12? Pwede ang 3 and 4. Diba? 3 times 4 is equal to 12. Tama. Ngano ganing negative atong gibutang diha? Atong basihan ang symbol sa ato ang linear term kung ang atong constant term kay positive. Okay? So, x minus 3 times x plus 4 is equal to 0. Let's try to check kung tama ba ni siya nga factor. So we have first terms, x times x, x squared. And then, outer terms, x times negative 4, negative 4x. Inner terms, negative 3 times x, negative 3x. And last, negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12 is equal to 0. So let's try to combine the like terms. We have x squared, negative 4x minus 3x is negative 7x plus 12 is equal to 0. So, pareha. Pareha siya. So, it means nga ato ang factor karon is tama. So, proceed ta sa ato ang solution. Kani-checking lang na ta kung tama ba nga factor. So, we have x minus 3 times x minus 4 is equal to 0. So, ato siyang bungkagon. X minus 3 is equal to 0. X minus 4 is equal to 0. And then, transpose your C sa other side. So, x, negative 3, nilabang sa imong equal sign is positive 3. And then, ang imuhang pikas nga side, so negative 4, nilabang na pud sa other side is positive 4. So, you have two solutions now to your quadratic equation. So, unsay nakalimtan? Ang conclusion. So, the solution set is 3 and 4. So, let's proceed to our second example. We have x squared minus 4x is equal to 0. So, kanina example, dali lang. Ato ang i-factor out ang x since the constant term is 0. So, we have x. Atong gigawas ang isa ka x. Kay common Manila. Kay wala may constant term. So, x squared divided by x is x minus 4x divided by x is 4 is equal to 0. And then separate the factors. X is equal to 0. X minus 4 is equal to 0. So, we have transpose the constant. X is equal to negative sign, mahimong positive. So, naana kay duha ka solution sa imuhang quadratic equation. So, unsay nakalimtan? Again, ayon din yung kalimti ang conclusion. So, the solution set is 0 and 4. So, mo ni imuhang conclusion karon sa imuhang quadratic equation.